Welcome to Hestia's Kitchen. My name is Arron, and the dish that I'll be making today is Cou Cou and salmon. It is from Barbados originally, and these are the ingredients that I'll be using today. First, we have 8 ounces of okra. I'm going to be putting it over here just for more space when I'm actually making the dish. We have 3 ounces of cornmeal. And for the sauce that we'll be making for the Cou Cou, we have 1 medium onion chopped up with some other things like tomato, garlic, and peppers for the tasting of the sauce to make it taste very good, very exquisite. Then for the seasonings, we're going to be using stuff like black pepper and salt with other things like pink salmon for the sauce and curry and other seasonings just to make it taste good and tasty for everyone who will be tasting today. So without further ado, let's get into the meal. The first step that you're going to want to do to make Cou Cou, you're going to want to get a pan a little bit less than half cup of water, put it over a boil and let it boil for a little bit. Then you're going to want to get another pan. You're going to want to put a little bit of oil, olive oil. Not that much, just a little bit, just to fill the pan. And after you do that, you're going to want to take your butter, 3 tablespoons of butter, and put it in here. Put it in the pan. Put it in the pan. Make sure to do this. Move the pan around so the butter can all spread over the pan. Then after that, you're going to want to take your plate full of onions and all your other vegetables for seasoning, and you're gonna want to put everything in there. And when you do this, you're gonna want to let it come to a simmer. Make sure to spread out all the vegetables. Make sure everyone gets to taste the butter, gets a little coating. You did? So while you're waiting for it to simmer, take your spoon that you use for the butter and just stir it around. Make sure everything gets a little bit of butter. Just stir it around cautiously until you see everything is boiled and simmered. Next, what y'all are gonna want to do, you're gonna want to take your salmon or any type of meat or fish that you're gonna be using. You're gonna want to put it into the pot full of vegetables. Just put it on top. Empty everything in there. Now after you're done emptying, you're gonna want to take all your seasonings and put some of it in there. Just put a dash of it. Stir it around with everything. You're gonna want to make sure you get everything covered for each seasoning, but don't put that much because you're also putting a lot of seasonings with different flavors. And first step also, don't use salt. You don't want to use salt yet. Do not add your salt. So next, what you're going to want to do, fill half a glass of water just to add some more liquid to the whole thing. You're going to want to pour it in there, and after that, get your cut up tomatoes and put it in there also. And after you do this, you're going to want to stir it a little bit. Just move it a little bit, make sure everything is coated in, spread it out. You could get your spoon, move it around, make sure everything is coated and everything is nice and seasoned. Now next, after about 15 minutes, your sauce and everything should be looking like this. Should look like this. When you're making it, during the 15 minutes, you can also add some more ketchup to make it really thick or thicker. Now next, once your water is boiled, what you're going to want to do, you're going to take your okras, all the okras, pour it in. Be careful so the water doesn't like splash on you. You're going to want to put all the okras in there. When you're done, take your salt. Don't put that much salt, put like a pinch of salt. And that's it. Just keep it there for a little bit. Put in the okras and put your salt and everything. You're gonna want to move it around a little bit and let it boil for at least half an hour. By then it will be done. We are back. Once your okra is done cooking, you're gonna want to take the pot and strain your okras. Make sure you get everything out of the pot. Next, what you're gonna want to do, take 1 cup of ice cold water and add it to the pot. We're doing this to prepare for our next step in the final course of the meal, which is the cornmeal. Don't throw away your liquid from the okra because you will be using it for the next step. You're gonna want to slowly add in all your meal into the pot with the water. You're gonna want to take a spoon and begin stirring. This whole process will take about 10 minutes. You're gonna want to slowly add in your okra and the okra water to make it as smooth as possible. And after 10 minutes, everything should be done, and we'll be back when it's done. Everything is done. It should look like this. You have the Cou Cou with the sauce and everything right here. You can see it. It should all look like this. So without further ado, I know all y'all been waiting for this. How does it taste? You know, it could look good, but how does it really taste at the end of the day? And I'm here to taste test it for all y'all. So here we go. Right here, just a little spoonful. If I had to rate this, give it a 9 out of 10. You could easily make this at home. You know, it's really easy to make.
Hi, I'm Jewelle Primo, and today I'm showing you how to make Guyanese pie tarts. All we're really going to need is Pillsbury crescent dough, pineapple preserves, and some eggs. You want egg yolks for the egg wash, and just some simple egg whites. You'll also need a simple knife, a spoon, and a rolling pin. First, you want to cut off just some of the dough. Then you're just going to roll it out into a circle. You'll end up with something kind of like this. So the next step, you're going to use some egg whites. Egg whites help the dough, stick together. Make sure you put a lot of egg whites around the edge. My egg whites. Because then it's less likely to fall apart. Again, you're getting a lot of egg wash. This just makes sure that it doesn't, fall apart in the oven or anything, Because you really don't want that. You're gonna take your spoon. Because this is not that big of, more round, I'm not gonna use that much filling. Typically, Make sure it's as centered as possible. Keep it in the center. All right. Then we're going to fold it. You have to fold it in a triangle shape. Just pick up one side, fold that, pinch. The other side, pick it up, fold it, pinch. And the third side. Last part is you just want to take your egg wash and go over this. Just make sure it doesn't, burn in the oven. We don't want it to be black. We want it to be nice and brown. Take a fork. It's the last step. You just want to poke little holes. This just helps any steam that would be in the tart escape, so that it's not, too full of steam and stuff.
And that's how you make Cou Cou and Guyanese pan tart. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on Cook with Hestia.